Welcome to the wild, everyone. Today we're venturing into the heart of survival, and trust me, you're going to want to pay attention. We're about to uncover the hidden potential of a humble item often tossed aside, the tin can. You heard right, folks. Forget your fancy gadgets. Out here, it's about resourcefulness and ingenuity. We're talking about transforming this discarded treasure into essential survival gear. Get ready to see why the unassuming tin can deserves a place in your survival arsenal. We're about to reveal 10 incredible uses that'll make you think twice before chucking those cans away. Let's get started. First up, we're tackling a survival fundamental fire. Now, rubbing two sticks together is all well and good, but out here, efficiency is key. That's where our trusty tin can comes in. We're going to transform this discarded container into a compact, portable stove. Start by giving it a good rinse and peeling off that label. You don't want any nasty chemicals getting into your hard-earned meal. Next, grab your trusty multi-tool, or any sharp object you can find, and carefully punch a series of holes around the upper rim of the can. These will act as air vents, providing crucial oxygen to fuel your fire. Remember, fire needs air to breathe, just like us. Now here's where the magic happens. Place your newly crafted stove on top of another empty can. This will act as a combustion chamber, maximizing heat efficiency. For added stability, fashion a simple grate using twigs or small stones. This will provide a platform for your cooking pot. When it comes to fuel, this bad boy isn't picky. Gather dry twigs, bark, or even charcoal, whatever the wilderness provides. The small size of our stove means you'll need less fuel to get a good blaze going, conserving precious resources. This ingenious contraption will boil water for purification, cook up a foraged feast, and even provide warmth on a chilly night. Remember, fire equals survival, and this tin can stove is your ticket to staying warm and well-fed. Communication is crucial in a survival scenario. When you're lost or injured, signaling for help can be the difference between life and death. Forget smoke signals. We're going high-tech with a tin can signal mirror. Now, you won't find this in any survival store. This is about resourcefulness, about taking what nature throws at you and turning it into a lifeline. We'll be utilizing the reflective surface of a tin can lid to create a powerful signaling device. First things first, we need to maximize that reflectivity. Grab some sand, toothpaste, or even ash from your fire pit and start polishing that lid. The goal is to create a surface so shiny it could blind a search and rescue team. Well, maybe not blind, but you get the idea. With our makeshift mirror gleaming like a beacon of hope, it's time to fine-tune its effectiveness. Using your multi-tool or a sharp rock, carefully create a small hole in the center of the lid. This peephole will be crucial for aiming those life-saving reflections. Now hold the lid close to your face and angle it so that you can see the reflection of the sun or any other light source through the peephole. Now slowly adjust the angle of the lid until you direct the reflected light towards your intended target, be it a distant mountain peak or a passing aircraft. Remember, practice makes perfect. Spend some time mastering the technique of aiming your signal mirror. In a real survival situation, a well-aimed reflection could be the difference between being found and remaining lost in the vast wilderness. Alright, we've covered survival essentials like fire and signaling. Now let's talk about sustenance. Out here, securing a meal can be the difference between thriving and just surviving. With a bit of ingenuity, we can transform this tin can into a life-saving fishing lure. First, carefully remove the sharp edges. Fashion it into a spinner-like design to attract fish. The can's reflective surface will lure fish from a distance. Always pack some fishing line and hooks. Improvisation is key in survival situations. Use natural bait like insects or worms. Cast your line and wait patiently. The tin can also doubles as an organizer for small items. With ingenuity, we can overcome any obstacle nature throws our way. As darkness descends upon the wilderness, a source of light becomes crucial. It not only illuminates our surroundings but also provides a sense of warmth and security. That's where our trusty tin can steps in again, this time as a makeshift tea light candle lantern. First, we need to prepare our can. Use a multi-tool to punch holes around the can for ventilation. Carefully cut a rectangular opening on one side of the can, attach a handle using a sturdy wire or a piece of coat hanger. Place the tea light candle inside the can, and voila! We've got ourselves a portable, ambient light source perfect for those quiet evenings in the wild. It can be a beacon of hope, a source of comfort, and a reminder of our resourcefulness. Water is essential for survival. Our humble tin can transform into a useful small pail. Punch 2 holes, smooth edges, and attach a handle. Now we have a functional pail that can hold water. This makeshift pail proves invaluable in a wilderness setting. It can even be used for cooking over a fire. Adaptability and resourcefulness are key in survival. We've secured our shelter, found a water source, and even managed to snag a bite to eat. But out here, in the unforgiving wilderness, danger lurks around every corner. We need to stay vigilant, we need to be aware. That's why we're going to build a perimeter alarm, an early warning system using nothing but these discarded tin cans. First things first, we need to gather our supplies. Along with a handful of empty cans, we'll need some strong twine or thin rope. Remember, we're in a survival situation, so improvise if you have to. Shoelaces, plant fibers, anything that can hold some weight and withstand a bit of friction will do the trick. Now let's talk noisemakers. We need something inside these cans that will cause a ruckus when they're jostled about. Small stones are perfect, but get creative. Nuts, bolts, even a handful of dry bones if you've been lucky enough to find some. Anything that will rattle and clang will serve our purpose. Remember, the key here is amplification. We're essentially creating a tripwire system that sets off a cascade of noise, alerting us to any unwelcome visitors. The more chaotic and loud the sound, the better our chances of scaring off any potential predators or unwanted guests. Right, let's get to work. Take your can and carefully punch a hole on opposite sides near the top rim. You can use a sharp rock, a sturdy stick, or if you're lucky enough to have one, a multi-tool. The goal is to create a clear path for our twine to thread through. Next, take your twine and thread it through the holes of your cans. You can use as many cans as you like depending on the size of your perimeter. Remember, the more cans you use, the more effective your alarm will be. Space them out evenly along your twine, ensuring they can swing freely and make contact with each other. Now, secure your twine to 2 sturdy anchor points. Trees are ideal, but rocks or even firmly planted branches will do in a pinch. The twine should be taut but not overly tight, allowing the cans to dangle a few inches above the ground. This ensures even the slightest brush will trigger our alarm. There you have it, a simple yet effective perimeter alarm. It might not seem like much, but out here every advantage counts. This early warning system could be the difference between a peaceful night's sleep and a rude awakening, giving us those precious extra seconds to react to any potential threats. We've all been there, caught in the wild with nothing but our wits and the clothes on our backs. But nature provides, and sometimes the most unassuming objects can be repurposed into invaluable tools. Take this discarded tin can, for instance. In a few simple steps we can transform it into a surprisingly effective scoop or shovel. Now, before we get started, a word of caution. We're going to be creating some sharp edges, so handle with care. Always be mindful of where your fingers are in relation to the cutting edge. We don't want to add any self-inflicted injuries to the mix. The key to this transformation lies in a good, clean cut. Ideally, we'd use a sturdy knife or multi-tool, but in a pinch, a sharp rock or even a broken piece of glass will do. Starting at the open end of the can, carefully cut diagonally across the body, aiming for the opposite rim. Don't worry about making it perfectly smooth. The rough, jagged edge will actually improve the scoop's effectiveness, giving us a better grip on loose materials. Just make sure the cut is deep enough to create a clear opening and a scooped shape. There you have it, a makeshift scoop, ready to tackle a surprising number of tasks. Need to gather some dry tinder for your fire? This will do the trick. Clearing debris from your campsite? Easy work for our new tool. Even something as simple as portioning out food or digging a small hole for waste disposal becomes significantly easier with this improvised scoop. Remember, it's not about having the perfect equipment, it's about adapting and overcoming. This humble scoop, crafted from a discarded can, embodies that spirit of resourcefulness. It's a testament to the fact that with a bit of ingenuity, we can turn even the most ordinary objects into valuable assets in our fight for survival. And the beauty of this tool is its versatility. Need a deeper scoop for moving larger quantities? Simply make a second cut on the opposite side of the can. Want to improve the grip? Wrap the handle in a piece of cloth or secure a sturdy stick with some cordage. The possibilities are limited only by your imagination. So next time you come across a discarded tin can, don't just see rubbish, see potential. See a scoop, a shovel, a tool that could make all the difference in a survival situation. Remember, out here, resourcefulness is king, and improvisation is the name of the game. We're deep in the heart of the wilderness and hunger gnaws at our bellies. Sometimes to survive, we need to hunt. Today, we're crafting a vital tool for any hunter, the arrowhead, using nothing but this discarded tin can. Don't underestimate the power of this humble material. With ingenuity, we can transform it into a deadly sharp point. Carefully cut out a long, thin triangle. Refine the edges until they're smooth and razor sharp. Attach it to a straight, sturdy stick. There you have it, a deadly hunting arrow, a testament to human resilience and adaptability. Use this weapon wisely and with respect. Alright, we've all been there, haven't we? Deep in the wilderness, miles from civilization, and in desperate need of a blade. Turns out that humble tin can you polished off earlier could be your saving grace. Now, we're not talking about a razor-sharp Bowie knife here, but with a bit of grit and determination, we can fashion ourselves a tool sharp enough for some essential survival tasks. First things first, we need to carefully remove the lid, ensuring there are no jagged edges that could turn this survival tool into a hazard. Remember, safety comes first in the wild. Now, lay that lid flat and find the seam running along its circumference. This seam is our weak point. The line we'll exploit to create our makeshift blade. Using a sturdy rock or even your boot heel, apply firm, even pressure along the seam, bending the lid in half. You want a nice, clean fold, so take your time and don't rush the process. We're aiming for functionality here, not a beauty contest. Now, with the lid bent double, we need to reinforce that fold and give our blade some much-needed sharpness. Find a smooth, flat rock and lay the folded edge on its surface. Using another rock, carefully hammer along the edge, strengthening the fold and sharpening the edge with each strike. Remember, patience is key. A sharp edge is a useful edge. There you have it, a surprisingly effective cutting tool crafted from nothing more than a discarded tin can. Now, it might not be pretty, but in a pinch, this makeshift knife could be the difference between a square meal and going hungry. Smaller tasks like cutting cordage, slicing through tough vegetation, or even preparing kindling for a fire become achievable with our new tool. And if you find yourself needing to dress small game for sustenance, this tin can knife can step up to the challenge, allowing you to skin and prepare your catch. Remember though, this blade isn't invincible. It's a tool born of necessity, and its lifespan will be directly proportional to the care and respect you treat it with. Use it wisely, keep it sharp, and it will serve you well in your hour of need. And never forget, the ability to improvise and adapt is the cornerstone of survival. So keep your eyes peeled, your mind sharp, and never underestimate the potential of even the most commonplace items. We've all been there, deep in the heart of the wilderness, surrounded by towering trees and the symphony of nature. But what's that I hear? The rumble of an empty stomach? Well, fear not, because tonight, we dine like kings. Or at least, we hang our dinner like kings, thanks to the humble tin can. Now most folks just see a discarded can as trash, but out here we see opportunity. See that pop-top lid? That, my friends, is the key to suspending our hard-earned meal safely out of reach of opportunistic critters. First things first, we need to carefully remove that lid, ensuring we don't mangle the ring pull. That ring pull is about to become our trusty hook. With the lid off, we need to create a secure point to attach our hanging rope or cordage. Carefully cut into the lid, leaving a portion attached to act as a hinge. This flap will be our anchor point, providing a solid base for our hanging system. Now thread your rope or cordage through the ring pull and tie it off securely. Double check those knots. We don't want any unexpected midnight snacks disappearing into the undergrowth. There you have it, a robust and reliable hanger crafted from nothing more than a discarded tin can lid. Now, we can suspend our precious food stores high above the ground, safe from the prying paws and scavenging snouts of the local wildlife. Remember, securing your food properly is crucial in the wild. Leaving it exposed on the ground is an open invitation to unwanted guests, and believe me, you don't want to be battling a hungry badger for your supper. This simple hanger is just one example of the ingenuity and resourcefulness that survival demands. By looking at everyday objects with a fresh perspective, we can uncover hidden potential and transform them into valuable assets in our fight for survival. So there you have it. Another feather in our cap. Or should I say another tin can in our survival arsenal. Remember, out here it's not about what you have, but how you use it. Stay sharp, stay resourceful, and I'll see you on the next adventure. Well, there you have it, folks. 10 life-saving uses for the humble tin can, proving that what some might see as trash can become a lifeline in a survival situation. Remember, resourcefulness and ingenuity are your greatest allies when facing the unexpected. If you found these tin can hacks helpful, give this video a thumbs up and share it with your fellow adventurers. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that notification bell so you never miss out on our latest survival tips and tricks. And be sure to let us know in the comments below if you have any other ingenious uses for tin cans, We're always up for learning new ways to outsmart the wild. Until next time, stay safe, stay prepared, and remember, it's not about how hard you can hit, but how hard you can get hit and keep moving forward. That's how winning is done.